I'm bored. Let's react to EFAP reacting to me, reacting to the critical drinker who's reacting to Predator Badlands. All right, I know that's a lot, but this is the second video in a 2-video series. If you missed the first half of this, you can click up in the corner and go check it out. It's around an hour and 40 some minutes long. This one might be as long as that one. I don't know. I haven't watched the other half of their video on me, so I have no clue. But if you want to go check that out, you can. I'm going to reference some stuff here from that video, because if you didn't watch that one, spoiler alert, they didn't do a good job of dismantling anything that I said. It's a lot of bad faith stuff, a lot of just disingenuous framing. They chopped my video up. There's edits in there. There's clips and things that were taken out of the video. Things out of context. They were straw manning, my comments. They were making things up that I never said. So I assume we're just going to continue doing that with the same lineup. So here we have, I know, I think Dark Tower is the one on the far left side there. Then we have Fringy, Mauler, Rags, and Little Platoon. I don't really know the Dark Tower person, but apparently he didn't like me. He didn't like the way I looked, didn't like my glasses, didn't like the fact that I had mismatched stuff in my room, a bunch of that. Anyway, this is probably going to be a longer video, so I'm going to just go ahead and jump into this. Let's watch it together and see if I can dismantle this one just like I did the previous one.
Badlands isn't actually a goofy buddy comedy complete with cute animal sidekicks, an insecure protagonist with daddy issues who has to learn to connect with his emotions, weightless CGI combat scenes, and wacky banter from a quirky android co-star that feels more like an aborted Mandalorian script than anything to do with...
There's a lot of word salad.
Not really.
Not really.
I think he's making a pretty clear point.
Those
Not
are
really.
specific.
It's point, then point, then point. Then
Deal with
point.
any of them. Choose one. Just deal with it.
So I think it's pretty rich that he said this after the last 1 minute long spiel that he went on that was actual word salad. That
they're talking about something from the previous video. I don't remember exactly what it was. It might have been at the end of the as stuff. I'm not totally sure, but that's what they're referencing. If you want to see that, you have to go watch the other video.
ended fucking in the middle of the point.
But nothing to do with what Az said, as far as anyone could tell. But yeah, definitely.
No, when I was addressing as, so here we go again. I just need to say this because even though it happened in the last video, I think it's important to bring this up here. When someone is telling a lie and that lie is leading to some point, like say for example, they're using the lie to set up and establish some opinion they have of something. So that opinion would be predicated on that lie. There is no point in listening to the opinion if the opinion's foundation is a lie. There's no point in that. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense to allow someone to just ramble off a bunch of lies without correcting them, because anything they say, any opinion they might have, any fact they might be stating after that is not true, or it is built on falsehoods. So there's no point. There's absolutely no point. And when I'm saying word salad here, I'm talking about the rambling he's doing and bringing up random things like the Mandalorian and stuff like that. What does that have to do with this film? Nothing. It's all sarcastic insults about the movie. That's what he's doing. And that's part of the course for the critical drinker. This review is not in a vacuum. It's not an anomaly of, in terms of what critical drinker does. But more of that in a little bit.
Definitely. Good stuff.
So I'm going to throw this one out there. Out of all of us, if we were to throw Drinker into this group right now, all of us, he's by far the most efficient with his words.
So
we all have much longer videos.
Who cares?
And for him to say,
like I said earlier, you can be long and wrong. Like you can say a bunch of wrong stuff and make it 5 hours long. It doesn't matter. Just like you could say a bunch of wrong stuff and it's 5 minutes long. The length and the efficiency of something it doesn't mean anything in terms of like whether it's right or wrong. Like you can absolutely fuck something up in 5 minutes, or you can fuck it up in 5 hours. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up. That's just the reality of it.
This is all pure word salad.
A little apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Because you could be very efficient, but have a much longer video if you're explaining things in a lot more detail.
I just think he trims it down to as few words as he can. Not, just
he makes shorter, more casual videos.
Yeah, they're not casual. They're not casual. They might be, like you said, they're more efficient, but I don't see what he does as like a casual thing. Critical Drinker has a team helping him out. So he has a script that either he writes or somebody else writes for him or AI writes for him. Who knows at this point? He has a script that he reads. The script is made so he can just get some content out there. He has a team that does editing, or a person that does editing for him. Then he has the thumbnail that he has to upload, and then all these other, like, he has all these moving parts of these videos. They're not really casual. To me, a casual video is like a podcast or something where there's very little script, there's very little editing, there's very little planning at all. Like what I'm doing now. I'm just reacting to what you guys are saying about me, about Critical Drinker. This is a casual video, because there's nothing, I didn't plan this in advance to edit it and chop it up. When somebody does that, to me, that doesn't scream casual. That's a very curated video at that point.
Yeah.
But he does that well. I think it suits him well, his style, his, the character he plays, the information it gets across.
So you're admitting here that he is a character. So this raises a question for me. Why the fuck are you defending a character? If this is just a character he's playing, who gives a fuck? Really? Why do you have to go on the front lines for him? Why do you gotta, what is the purpose? If what he's doing is a bit and it's a character, then who cares if somebody is critical of that? Who gives a shit? If it's not real. If this isn't, the Critical Drinker actually giving a genuine review of something as himself, and it's all a manufactured character playing a part, doing a bit, then why are we even having this conversation? What's the point?
It's
very
a review,
digestible, very approachable.
not a breakdown.
But to call Drinker word salad is.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah, I definitely disagree.
You can disagree. I don't give a fuck
with that. If
Especially
anything, it's the
I don't
opposite. He's a bit concise for what he's trying to do.
Well, like
sometimes I wish Drinker would do longer videos, to be honest with you.
He's concise in a way that can be detrimental, because a lot of the reason why scripts end up being long is because you have to cram it with caveats to deal with people like this who can't understand the point
Bad
that you're
faith
making.
actors entirely.
Oh, so what was the point he was making? What was the point? Let me see if I have this right. He made a quick summary of the movie, was very sarcastic, very insulting, and compared it to at least 1-2 things in this little bit that we listened to, and in a way to set up the viewer to go into his review understanding that he doesn't like the movie and that he wants you to also dislike the movie, because he is putting out the little Critical Drinker isms with sarcasm and little banter in there. Like, this is all, like, it's part of the course for Critical Drinker. Again, this isn't a video in a vacuum. This isn't some off-the-wall, outside-of-the-box video for Critical Drinker. His videos are lazy. They're very, very lazy. They have the same fucking formula every single time. When you get a video from him that's not him being sarcastically hateful, that's a different type of video. That's where I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this? This video is very normal for him. It's very fucking normal. I totally understand what he's doing. Like, bro, you don't know me like that.
and Drinker
every
doesn't.
single counter argument, every single potential misunderstanding and misrepresentation.
Right, so you're establishing a wall for him. You're trying to protect him from me because you're worried. You're so worried that I'm going to dismantle anything that he says that you're already setting this up before we even really get into the video. That it's tough being the Critical Drinker because, people might actually hold you to some sort of standard as a reviewer. It's somebody with like 2.5 or 2.4 million subs, somewhere around there, that how dare us hold him to some sort of standard when it comes to media? Like, who ever heard of that? Holding people to a standard? That's crazy. You're actually holding me to a higher standard than you are Critical Drinker. Is the dick that good? I mean, is it?
Just to account for all of the arguments before they arise. There's a frustration that comes from that for sure, because it would be nice if everybody was essentially able to clue in on the points that people are making. But in the absence of that, it does kind of encourage you to be a bit longer so that you can deal with these arguments before they arise.
It's the difference between a review, and that's what Drinker primarily does, and a breakdown or a more in-depth analysis is kind of the proportion of assertions to arguments made. In a review, when you're giving essentially an overview, and that opening section from Drinker's video is the overview of what he thinks about various...
It's not just an overview. That was not just an overview. You're being duplicitous right here. 100%. This is dishonesty. There was a sarcastic establishment in the beginning of Critical Drinker's video. The entire reason he said the things he says in that beginning is to set up a vibe, a tone, if you will, for the video for people going into it. That's what he's doing. It's not just a quick synopsis. And I know they want you to believe that, but that's not true. That's not what was happening there. Anybody that's watched more than a handful of Critical Drinkers videos can see what he's doing here. Like, let's be for real, for real.
Parts of the movie. Not every one of those is necessarily going to be substantiated, because he's reviewing it based on the feelings he had, the emotions he had, and his overall take on the thing. The video isn't going to say, and that means this and this and this, here is justification X, Y, Z, and then move on to next claim. Short review videos don't tend to do that. But
well, the thing is, I don't have an issue with how somebody feels about a movie. I'm not going to argue with you about your feelings. The fuck does that even mean? I've never done that. There's no example of me ever doing that. I've said numerous times that I'm not someone that's trying to twist a person's arm. If you don't like a movie, you don't like a fucking movie. Have at it, right? Like, that's not what I'm doing here. Critical Drinker literally lies in this video multiple times. And if he's not lying, he didn't see the movie. It's one of those two things. Either he's lying on purpose because he wants to make the movie seem worse than it is, or he didn't see the movie. Those are the two roads you have. Those are the only options. And I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but they chopped the fuck up out of my video in the previous one. So I'm not sure if they're going to take me out of context in here or not. But I'm certainly going to call it out if they do.
It does leave you way more open to disingenuous counter-arguments or people who aren't willing to...
I'm the disingenuous one. I'm the disingenuous one. With the straw mans and fucking bad faith comments you had on the last video about me, I'm the disingenuous one? Are you kidding me? Is that a joke? That must be a joke. That has to be a joke.
Accept that that's what it is.
No, I agree with Craig, the bad guy. The word I'm looking for is concise. There are shorter reviews. There's people who do literal shorts, but he's very good with getting as much information into one sentence as anybody I've ever met.
It's a lot of words now. It's getting even worse. We're 30 seconds of the video. It's getting even worse with Critical Drinker.
Counter a point. Go ahead. Do it.
The point is, these guys don't want stories.
Oh,
I don't.
He said about the man who literally makes them, but all right.
You know what I love about this is they pause. They yell at me in the previous video, and they might even do it in this one. They pause before they hear the rest of my statement. Before they hear the full thing that I have to say, they pause it. Right? The reason why I say they don't want stories, they don't want good stories, is because that's a characterization of the kind of media they make. When you are in the business of being mad about something, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get a good story or not. It doesn't matter if there's any story. It doesn't matter. The entire purpose for what these channels do, what they do at their core, is they generate views, revenue, subscriptions, all of these things off of keeping people mad. And that doesn't require anything to get better. Matter of fact, things getting better would be bad business for them. Stories, good stories, great stories, it would be bad business for them if things actually got better. So there is no room for that in this universe, in the Critical Drinker universe, or the grifter space here on YouTube. If you look at the videos where they talk positively about stuff, it doesn't get the views that the bad stuff gets, because they have cultivated an audience of people who don't give a fuck about stories. That's the point I'm making. But these guys are going to pause and laugh it up and yuck it up and stuff like that. They know what the fuck I mean. And if they don't, they're dumber than I think they are.
Stories.
All right.
I haven't heard this one
Here's a
before.
weird way of showing it.
So, like, obviously the first question you have, other than what Rags just said, which is that he does write his own, is what do you do when Drinker likes a story, which he does, by the way. So how do you account for that? What do you do?
We've already established this. There's no money for these guys in making good reviews. There's no money for these guys in making even lukewarm, okay reviews. Everything has to be at extremes. Let's take a look at his page quickly. All right. So we have, we killed the acolyte, apparently, negative. Wicked for good. Is it actually good though? It's a negative framing. Crash and burn, James Corden story, negative. Project Hail Mary, please be good. It's a negative framing. The Avatar Paradox, why nobody talks about these movies, negative framing. The Running Man, can't outrun this disaster, negative framing. 2025, the year that broke Hollywood. Production Hell, Groundhog Day. Oh, here's one that actually isn't necessarily a negative. Let's look at the views. Okay, so let's start here at the top here. All right, 1.2 billion, 616,000 views on this one because it wasn't quite so negative as the others. Crash and Burn, 1.4 million. Project Hail Mary, again, in the middle area there for his regular views because it isn't quite as negative as Crash and Burn. A negative Avatar video, 1.3 million. A negative Running Man video, 1.1 million. 2025, the year that broke Hollywood, 1.2 million. Here we are again. Production Hell, Groundhog Day, another video that's not explicitly and absolutely negative in title, right? 548,000 views. 1.1 million views on this one. 1.4 million views on a Crash and Burn one. There's not a market for them to be lukewarm and middling about anything. Their fans, their listeners are not interested in that. They're not. This is why he does the kind of content that he does. And this is why when I say they don't want good stories, because it would destroy their channels. They don't want anything substantial because it would absolutely destroy their channels. So for them, a story that is actually good, something they can actually sink their teeth into, is bad business. It is bad business for them.
It was a lie.
It's part of the grift. He's a griftly bear, and that's part of the grift.
I see.
His tactics.
I gotcha.
He is. He is a grifter. I don't think they want stories. You're mad that they have a very deep and nuanced take on the Predator
Deep and
franchise.
nuanced.
Steady on.
Calm
Deep
down, yeah.
and nuanced.
This is a little embarrassing.
What's embarrassing about it? Is there another movie that I'm unaware of from the Predator franchise that follows the Predator as the protagonist and gives some background lore on the clans and how they function in this much detail? Is there one? I don't think there is. I think this might be the first one that's like that. So I'm not really sure why that's embarrassing. It is a deep and nuanced story with the Predator because it's the first one to do what it's done. None of the other ones have done this before.
But like, I feel as though he realized he couldn't necessarily counter anything Drinker said. In that selection, the other two, I think, played it and just...
Why would I counter any of the stuff in that beginning? Why would I counter that? Why would I do that? It's a bunch of sarcastic humor. What am I disputing? That it's not like The Mandalorian? Am I making that argument? What are you talking about? What would I be disputing? What argument am I countering? The really lazy intro to his video? That's what you want me to counter that? I already said what I had to say about it.
Ran off, made crazy points. I think he had the exact same problem. He's like, how do I tackle this? I just won't. I'm instead going to make a point about how they don't even like stories.
Yes, because that is the point. You're acting like this video and Critical Drinker's style is contained within this one clip that I'm watching. Like, we're all stupid, never seen a Critical Drinker video before, have no idea what his normal MO is, right? Like, I have no clue. I live on an island somewhere where I've never seen a Critical Drinker video. We've all seen them. We all know how they function. This is dumb. I know exactly how to handle this. I've done it many times. You guys are too busy, giving hand jobs to Critical Drinker and running defense for him to even bother to think about the fact that maybe this isn't my first time watching a Critical Drinker video. It's quite possibly one of 100 Critical Drinker videos that I've watched over the years.
I mean, it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I don't know anyone who hates stories. I don't know a human being who hates stories.
That's irrelevant. Like, what are you going to do? Anecdotally, I don't know anybody that hates stories, so it's impossible. It's impossible for someone to hate these things because I don't know anybody that does. Okay, sure.
I'm not a fan.
It's pretty tough to hate stories. Yeah, it's unlikely.
I would just like one sentence. I don't want any kind of narrative. I'm done with it.
We're getting more than just creature comes in and murders people. Oh, wait. So there was context to what I said. There was context here where I'm talking specifically about what kind of story this is and why I don't think they want these kinds of stories. It's interesting that you didn't let me finish my whole sentence when you cut me off there. It's interesting. Just like the previous video, if you guys didn't watch it, there's at least 2, maybe 3 times where they stop me to argue with me against something, a straw man argument, and then they play it and they're like, oh, wait, that's not what he meant. There's a full thought here. However, whenever I paused as in that video, and whenever I paused Critical Drinker, there is no additional context necessary. There's none. But they get additional context from me whenever they build these straw mans from pausing me. It's almost like you didn't let me finish my thought before you said a bunch of shit about me. Which is what it's been for a very long time.
That's kind of fucking
Let's rewind
annoying.
it here. More than just creature comes in and murders people. Right. Which is what it's been for a very long time.
That's kind of fucking annoying, actually. That
Yeah,
you said
because
that.
the original obviously is way more than that.
The original Predator is more than a man running from an alien creature who's trying to murder him. That is fundamentally what the movie is. Every movie can be boiled down to like some fundamental things, right? There's fundamental aspects to storytelling that you can boil movies down to. The Predator movie, at its core, is an alien creature chasing after these humans and hunting them. That's what that movie is. From the standpoint of the main character, through the vast majority of the film, all they know is there's some creature coming after them. And this is the same for many Predator movies in the franchise. Because we're talking about from the perspective of the humans or the people who are facing off against them. Now, obviously, we, as the viewers of the movie, know that there's more to it, that there's something more there than just a creature feature. But you act like you're so offended. You're so offended that I would call the Predator a creature in the context of what kind of movie it is. This is, again, I'm going to use this word, very dishonest, very disingenuous. There's no way you can tell me that you look back at the Predator movies and you're like, they're so deep and rich with so much Predator lore in them that compares to what we get in Predator Badlands. That is a dishonest framing. Honestly, it's not shocking to me that this is where they seem to be going with this.
All of them technically
the whole point
are.
About Predator, at least at its peak, is that this is a very intelligent and calculating entity. Like,
that doesn't mean it's not. Does that mean it's not seen as a creature? Right? Because it's smart? Because it's intelligent? Because they're doing this shit, I'm going to do it too. Definition of creature: an animal as distinct from a human being. However, an animal or person, as fellow creatures on this planet, animals deserve respect. A fictional or imaginary being, typically a frightening one, literally right here, a creature from outer space. I mean, I shouldn't have to do this because it's really dumb that I even have to do that, but I'm doing it to prove a point, that this is all bad faith. This is bad faith shit from these guys. The Predator would absolutely be classified as a creature, 100%. But let's continue.
Calling them a creature, it's not like an animal. It's meant to be somebody that's employing tactics.
Creature does not necessarily refer to an animal, as shown in a couple of examples we just looked at.
Fucking with people.
Well, he's kind of said that he doesn't think aliens can love or have emotions. So
I never said that. That's a straw man. Never said that. In the previous video, I was talking about love with the Predator species in conjunction with love from the synthetic beings. I was talking about it in that regard. There's no part of that video where I say aliens are incapable of loving people. Aliens are incapable of loving each other. Aliens are incapable of love in general. I never say that anywhere in the video. It's not, I never make that point or that distinction. I'm talking about specifically the relationship that we're dealing with in this movie. That's what I was talking about. But go ahead, continue building your straw man.
Know what he thinks about.
But the thing is, he'll switch this on a dime when he watches Avatar, because then he'll sink into that interpretation. rather than like having any sort of consistent beliefs that...
We're not talking about Avatar. We're talking about the Predator franchise. Literally stay on topic. Stop straw manning my comments. Stop straw manning my arguments. Attack them directly. I don't give a fuck about the aliens in the Avatar movie being in relationships together and how that correlates to the Predators. I don't give a fuck. I never compared those two things together. I never made that comparison. So who gives a shit? That's not what I'm talking about here. Stay on point. Steel man my arguments. Steel man my statements. Arguing about the definition of creature. Is the predator really a creature? I don't know. It's kind of offensive that you would call the predator a creature because they're intelligent. Newsflash, creatures can be intelligent. There are non-humanoid creatures on this planet. If you're even defining them outside of human beings, there are non-humanoid creatures on this planet, non-human creatures on this planet who are intelligent. This is the kind of pedantic bullshit that doesn't move the needle. Like, what are we doing?
You know, then are applied to various different films. That's the impression I get. I assume that he probably likes Avatar. Maybe not. But
you wouldn't know because I didn't bring it up. I didn't talk about it. Matter of fact, in the last video, Mauler chastised me for assuming something about Az and an actual Predator movie. Chastised me for it. You shouldn't make assumptions, blah, 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 blah. And here you are doing it. Is he going to call you out on it? Probably not.
I'd be surprised if he didn't, honestly.
Not sure.
We're starting to get a deeper look, a peek behind the curtain, if you will, to the...
Not even because he rejects the culture of the Predator.
So how does that change the aspect of a peek behind the curtain? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Did we not get to see some of the Predator culture in this movie, some of the hierarchy, how the clans work, what the Predators do in order to earn their cloaks? Did we not see that in this movie? Oh, we did. We did see that. We now understand more about the Predators and their homeworld and their culture because we took a peek behind the curtain. What you're saying now doesn't fucking matter. I don't care if the story is slightly different from what you expected it to be. And somehow that changes the fact that we still got information about Predators that we don't normally get because we're taking a look behind the curtain of them just being creatures attacking humans. So unless you're going to address that directly, stop avoiding the context of what I'm saying.
Like, which again, we talked about this when we were talking about the film, but to me, the pitch of a Predator film is essentially a villain movie.
You do not... Okay, here's the thing. I've talked about this. Birdman has talked about this. Other people have talked about this. You cannot judge a movie based on what it isn't because you could just make up things into absurdity trying to judge a movie based on what it's not. You judge the movie based on what it is. What kind of movie you watched, what you saw on the screen. Judging a movie and saying that it cannot be this thing because it should have been this other thing, that's not film criticism. You're not criticizing the film. You are criticizing some fictional made-up thing in your mind that wasn't the thing that you watched.
In the sense that you're getting like fully from that perspective, not with the intent of having some sort of turnaround at some point, right?
Doesn't matter.
Like, if you want to see an Empire story, it's not like, oh, well, no, you're going to see them as the Empire for the first, third, and then they're going to...
How about you stay on topic? Why do these guys have to constantly go to different franchises and different movies to try and prove their point? Why? You can say what you have to say about the fucking movie that you watched. If we're talking about Predator Badlands, stay on the Predator universe. Or if you want to go adjacent, go into the Alien franchise. Why the fuck are we comparing what happened in this movie to something in Star Wars? Why? Why do you need that to prove your point?
Realize the Empire is evil and become rebels. Like, that's not what people are interested in when you pitch them that story.
You don't know because that is a dumb statement. That is a dumb statement. The reason why it's dumb is you can't know that. You have no proof of that. Zero, zilch. You have no evidence to back up that claim. That's literally something you made up out of thin air.
Like, it's the reason why I don't like saying that this film is unconventional, because it ain't.
No.
To the world of the Predator.
It's a very conventional movie. It's not a conventional Predator movie, but that's
Yes, exactly. Rags actually says something smart. It's an unconventional Predator movie, which I didn't even say it was unconventional. I didn't say that. He must have heard somebody else say that. He's not arguing against me. I never said that. But even if somebody did say it, they're right. It is an unconventional Predator movie. We've never had a movie like this before. So arguing that it's not unconventional in the sense that the actual formula of the movie is conventional, in the sense of like all movies, it's just dishonesty, man. It's dishonesty. It's so annoying and frustrating to watch these guys on here with all these people feeding into this bullshit. These guys are not like they're not offering anything of substance here at all.
That's kind of its own problem.
Whatever. This is one of those times where they're trying so hard to dislike something because, again, rent is due.
So if I were in a call with him right now, I'd be like, tell me what criticisms he just laid out. Give me one of them, and I guarantee you'd be.
So are you saying there were no criticisms? A minute ago, you were asking me to address his criticisms directly. Now you're saying there are none? I'm a little bit confused. Did he criticize the movie or did he not? I'm just curious. I'm curious because you're making it sound like now there was no criticism and that I would be hard pressed to find a criticism of the movie because I only watched the intro part of it before I started making my statements. Kind of strange considering earlier you were so dead set on me avoiding his actual criticism. So that's a little strange. Okay.
Baller. I'm in a unique position because, like we said before, I didn't absolutely hate this movie, and this guy's criticism of Drinker makes absolutely no sense.
Oh.
No, I mean, this guy to say what one of the criticisms Drinker delivered because he's probably forgotten at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying is since so as a person who I don't want to say on the fence, I want to say like maybe half on the fence about the movie. I'm the kind of person
you're on the fence about being on the fence.
You're just on the fence.
I'm on the fence about being on the fence. I'm the kind of person that this guy would be trying to influence, and all he's doing is pushing me to the other side of the fence.
Okay, couple things to unpack there. Number one, I'm not trying to influence anybody on whether they like or dislike a movie. I have never ever said in any capacity that my goal is to change people's minds about whether they like a movie or not. I don't give a fuck if you don't like the movie. I really don't. Like, who gives a shit if you like a movie or dislike a movie? Secondly, if me giving criticisms to somebody who makes a living giving criticisms is enough to push you to the opposite side because you don't like having anything challenged whatsoever. You're like, fuck that. I mean, my views are being challenged a little bit, so I'm just going to go to the opposite side. Maybe you should look inside and check your own fortitude. That's really what I would say. That's a pretty big problem. If my video can influence you to the point where you're like, I'm going to dislike this movie specifically despite what this person is saying, there are bigger mental and emotional problems there that could be addressed in this clip.
He's just pushing me to because he's not actually criticizing anything properly. He's just going, yeah, that's what he said. He's wrong. And I hate that argument.
Right. Trying so hard to dislike. I mean, that's what you guys have been doing to me the whole time. That's what you've been doing to me and making comparisons that I never made, straw manning everything I've said. But okay, let's continue. Something because again, rent is due, bills are due, and these guys don't.
Yeah, man, it was really the Predator review that really made the difference between Drinker being bankrupt. That was it.
Look, every dollar adds up, man. He's like, well, I guess I got to do a Predator review. Hopefully, I could scrape a few shekels together to pay the old landlord this month.
Have enough stuff. Yeah, because that's how YouTube works. People make one video and they're done. This is so dishonest. Again, these guys are just dishonest. I keep having to say it, but that's just what it is. It's just complete dishonesty here. They're pretending like they don't understand how the monetization system works on YouTube when it comes to this kind of content, when they absolutely know how it works. Like, because I'm saying, oh, Critical Drinker made this one Predator video to make money, and that's the argument that I'm making. That's the statement I'm making. No, there's a pattern of behavior where he's made so many negative videos. We looked at his channel just a second ago. He's made so many negative videos because this is his market. This is what he does for a living. He pays people to do this for him. He has a team of people working with him. This is how he pays his rent. This is how he pays his bills. When you have someone whose business model is cultivating outrage content for a living, and they're making these videos where they're trying so hard, so very hard to convince people that something is bad, to make that echo chamber echo a little bit more, to confirm that bias just a little bit more. When they're doing this, they're doing it because they know it makes them money. This is the reason why when you look for channels where reviewers are reviewing films and they've got a wide range of opinions about movies, and there's always like this up and down when it comes to films. When you see that, you're like, oh, these guys probably are actually looking into the movie more than just the surface level. They're looking beyond that. When you see those kinds of channels, you're like, they might have something to say. When you look at a channel like Critical Drinker, it is just negative, negative, slightly negative, another negative video, another negative one, ambiguous but probably negative, and then one positive video that performs 50% lower than their average video views. It becomes very clear to anybody with even half a fucking brain that these guys have to make a certain kind of video to make money. That's why they do this. When you see a movie like this, and you see that fans enjoy it, you see that it's got a good score on most outlets, you see that it has a really strong opening weekend, and it's something that can actually lead to better entertainment for people, and you decide to go, you know what, the glass that's slightly more than half full, I'm going to shit on it and then make it worthless because I have to pay people that work for me. I have money that has to go out to pay my bills. And the way I do that is I shit on movies for a living. That is what Critical Drinker does. You can pretend that's not what he does. You can, oh gosh, no, he's a guy that he calls it like he sees it. That's what he does. How is it that 80 to 90% of media he just hates? Critical Drinker has a financial obligation to make this kind of content. You cannot dispute that. This is what he does. This is what his channel's about. So it's really weird that you're acting like, oh, this one video, he must have made this one because rent was due. I'm going to ignore the other 10 or 15 videos he did where he was also fucking negative because you're just completely overlooking the point that I'm making.
Not out on the street.
They're trying to find a reason to dislike and hate something. The issue here with this
almost like I got a point
is that
there.
You're talking about all of the details of a movie that make it a good film, all of the things that make this movie something more than just like a hack and slash type movie. And you're acting like it's a bad thing, but I can pretty much assure you guys, he's not going to talk about why it's bad. He's just sarcastically explaining what the movie's about. And showing
Could you imagine that? Just saying that it's good over and over again without giving any detail? Who would do that?
Interesting. I don't.
Where did I say that? Where did I say that there? He's not going to give any, like the movie itself, everything he's saying about the movie, from what I can tell, is the stuff that most fans liked about the movie. Most of the people online that say they like it, they like those things. So my statement here was, I don't think he's going to give any explanation for why those things that most people would see as good are negatives. That was my statement. I never said that he had to say everything was good. I never said that. That wasn't the comment that I made.
I can't imagine anyone would do that. Anyone who has a passion for narratives and stories would want to go in depth, obviously. I didn't even like this fucking movie, and I know it in and out, I feel.
Funny little memes and clips, which by the way, we know that's not working much anymore either. We know that the fuel is running out on that one. The gas station is out. Refills are not available.
The grifters
it's just
are
not
losing.
something that's working.
They are.
Wait, so hold on. So he's doing all of this for money, and it's not working. So he's doing it for money because it's
not working. Yeah,
it's not working. So
great way to straw man my argument. I'm going to show a clip here in a second that's going to explain to you guys what I mean, because some of you may not be aware of what's happening to these channels. But these guys are playing stupid again. Again, more dishonesty.
He's grifting badly in that case.
He's a bad
Not what
grifter,
I said.
Yeah.
Not what I said.
So it's not working. Predator Badlands, Disney consumes another franchise 8 days ago, 1.1 million views. Damn, Drinker.
Allegedly.
Enough to me.
Falling apart over
we
there,
don't know
Drinker.
if that's a real number.
Yeah, that's just the grift. That's just the Griffly Bear bots that he purchased from grift.com.
I mean,
yeah, that's like, again, these are all like, what do you got? Who are you responding to with this? Certainly not me. This is the kind of shit that you guys need to look out for when you're watching these guys. None of this is what I said. I never accused his videos of being botted. I never accused his views of being inaccurate. I never said that. I wouldn't say that. It's never an argument I've ever made. I've never made the argument that these channels are botting views or lying about their numbers. I've never made that argument. But let's let them continue here.
Anybody who has made a YouTube video knows that on our end, sometimes the views are much higher than the one that the public sees.
That's what it's more likely to be at this point, given the recent changes that YouTube's implemented. Is that it's actually undercounting the number of people who've actually seen it because it doesn't.
See, this is funny to me, because my analysis of how these channels are doing isn't necessarily about the views of the individual videos. Matter of fact, I have done videos about views, but I usually take like a sample size of 30 days, 6 months, something like that. And I'll take that sample size and I'll look at a percentage of views over time. And I would make an assessment off of that. There's a video where I look at how the channels are doing in terms of subscribers, where they're at now versus where they were 3-4 years ago. There's a lot of math involved with that. I've got numbers and receipts to back up anything I say. I have all of that. And again, we're going to look at a clip here in a second. But yeah, so I'm not arguing that their views are fake. I'm not saying that this one video didn't perform well. It's not what I'm saying, man.
Like people using ad blockers and, fuck you, YouTube, but that's how it does it. So, but to counter the point he's making, which is that Drinker is doing this because it's a grift for money, and we know that that's not very good and won't possibly work, so he's doing it anyway. The 1.1 million is quite sufficient, I think, to disprove both angles to that. Evidence.
Oh, so you're using one video. This one video is proof that he's doing really well and that his channel is not on the decline and that other channels like his are not on the decline. That's really interesting. Such a layered and fulfilling analysis of the channel is that this one video, which, by the way, that's a little under, I think it's around 46% of his subscribers watch that video. 46%. It's interesting. So more than half of his total number of subscribers did not click on that video. That's really interesting. Matter of fact, let's watch my clip very briefly. Now you might ask yourself, Eric, what does this mean? They're still gaining subs. The channels are still growing, but they're growing slower. This is a really important thing to understand. They're growing slower and they're seeing less people come over and subscribe to their channel. Let's go back, just like we did with Nerdrotic here. Critical Drinker, 2022 to 2023, saw a 24.8% growth with 370,000 subscribers added to his account. We then had another 290,000 added for a fifth, went down from 25% to 16% roughly, with a loss of around 80,000 subscribers there. And then finally, down from 15.6 to 10.7 with 230,000 subscribers growth, which is down 60,000 from the previous year. These are important metrics. So there we go. That is the receipts that I have that show that his channel is not performing as well year to year. I'm not looking at one video and going, oh shit, this video did 1 million views, so this disproves anything I've ever said and done. I went all the way back to 2022 to 2023, looking at the growth of the channel and how it's slowing down. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm referencing in this video. But sure, I guess one video that got 46% of his subs to click on it disproves my argument.
In the subject matter, and it is still working. But to say that is the reason Drinker does these videos when he's
become
done
a
it forever
mainstream cultural talking.
So you don't think that he makes these videos to make money? That's what you're saying? I'm not trying to straw man it. I mean, I don't understand. Are you saying that he's not making these videos to make money? Because that's my point. That was my entire point, is that he's making these kinds of videos to make money. So unless you're disputing that this is his business model, which I don't know how you could, considering this is over 80 to 90% of the content on his channel, and I know that metric because I've looked at his channel over a period of time. So unless you're disputing that, and you have some sort of evidence to back up that claim, then you have not rebutted what I've said.
point with movies and stuff, to the point where even my normie parents were kind of talking about this sort of thing, and when it comes to movies and commercials and stuff that they see. I think.
Well, there we go. Case closed. Case fucking closed. He knows someone in his life that's now talking about this, so that means that obviously I'm wrong. I'm wrong because it's broken through and people are talking about it that he knows in his personal life, because anecdotal evidence is such good evidence to use when we're talking about large-scale conversations about systemic things. Crazy.
It's just become kind of an open mainstream thing to talk about. And part of it is because of channels like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and all that stuff.
Can you suck the dick any harder? I mean, I'm just saying.
They sort of made it acceptable and accessible.
So back when Alien Romulus came out, I was on that open bar, and I said I hated it. And there was a lot of people in the chat who didn't agree with me. And then Drinker put out his video and almost word for word agreed with everything I said. Like, it was just, there was a few things we differed on, but for the most part, we were lockstep. So for people to say like, oh, he just goes based on what his audience is saying, that's clear. I have an actual proof situation where his own audience in the chat was not saying what I was saying. And
case closed. He did one video where him and his audience didn't agree. So clearly I'm wrong again. Anecdotal fucking evidence. This is what these guys do. They personalize things. It's always some sort of personalization. My friend did this. I saw this. One person I know did this. I heard this from somebody. All of these anecdotal stories do not provide substantial evidence to back up a claim like this. They just do not. When I'm looking at years and years and years of numbers and trends, and I'm breaking it down mathematically so that we can see the decline of the viewership, of the subscribers, these kinds of things on the channels that we're talking about. When I do that, I don't care if you saw one video where you got some kind of confirmation bias from it. I don't care. That's not the argument that I am making. That's not what I'm saying. I haven't said any of this. They're arguing a straw man with a bunch of things that I never said in this video. I simply stated that this kind of content is on the decline. I've made several videos about this with all of these large channels. We're seeing a reduction in subscribers. We're seeing a reduction in overall views over big chunks of time from these channels. I'm not talking about one video or a handful of videos. I'm talking about a big chunk of time, a substantial block of time where you can look at the math and you can see the deterioration of this kind of content. So I don't care if you have one video where you saw him disagreeing with something that you disagreed with, so therefore your bias is confirmed. I don't care about that. That doesn't disprove anything that I said in this video. It's not even really addressing what I'm talking about in this video, to be quite honest.
He still agreed with me. So it's
holy shit, who gives a fuck?
That sort of thing. If anybody did any degree of quality assurance, quality check on their own narrative about him, would know that.
Right. So I would know about an anecdotal story where you made some points in a random live stream, where Critical Drinker then made a video where he also said some of the things that you said, and those happen to be different from what his audience said in his comment section on this random video that I'm not aware of because I don't know this relationship that you have with him in this specific video. I should have known that before I went and did all of my math over months of time. I should have done that. Because that is the way that everyone, that's how you decide whether a channel is good or bad. One random video, another person's account, a random live stream, viewer discussion that the person disagrees with, and there we go. Channel successful. I guess that's what it is. I guess that's where we're at. I don't know. It's dumb shit.
So you obviously, because he's cracked the Drinker, like he's figured out Drinker's desperate for views at this point because everything's collapsing for him.
Yeah. Right.
Meanwhile, of course, I was just curious to check, and which video is this from?
Yes, these guys need to continuously pump out outrage content because they want the views. Is it a hot take that he makes negative content for money? Is that a hot take? I mean, even if you argue that it's not negative, is it a hot take that he makes content for money? I don't think it is. Like, am I being gaslit here? Like, Critical Drinker doesn't make videos to make money? He does it out of the kindness of his heart. He's not even monetized, guys. He donates all of his super chats to charity. I don't know. What are we saying here? I don't really understand how I'm wrong about that.
Rags, do you know what the name of it is?
His Disney consumed another franchise, I believe.
I mean,
was his,
this guy covering Drinker.
Oh, yeah, let me just pass you the link here.
He's passing the link because he doesn't want to show that he's subbed to me. If you guys missed the last video, Rags acted like he didn't know about my channel. He just kind of found my video when in fact he's been subbed to my channel since 2023. The receipts for that are in my other video, by the way.
Scroll, scroll, scroll.
So he doesn't want to show his screen. He's going to send it over to Mauler.
Because obviously he knows what the people want, you know?
Yeah, because I made a direct comparison to my content and Critical Drinker's content. Because that's what I did. Sure.
Well, does he though?
Let's see where he goes with this.
This is it's one of those really, really convenient defenses you can have, is that when my opponent does really well, that's because audience capture, just telling them what they think. When I don't do quite as well, it's because I'm telling people the truth and they don't like to hear it.
Where did I make any sort of comment even remotely close to that? So, like, again, this is a bunch of just bad faith straw mans. Like they're saying all these things that I didn't say. Keep in mind, they paused my video several minutes ago, and they've just been rambling on, creating this series of arguments that I never made. It's actually quite funny to me.
When opponent does badly, it's because the audience has seen through the grift. And when I do well, it's because I'm telling the truth. There's basically no way this guy can lose in the type of analysis that he does.
So what am I trying to win? What is the prize? What am I winning here? I'm just curious. Where in all of that like rambling that you just did, what am I winning in this? I have no idea. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, so Drinker, the 1.1 million, this guy got 7K views, so
right.
I think it's pretty obvious the tides have turned.
Oh, I love this one. This is the appeal to popularity fallacy. This is a fun one. So what Mauler is doing here is he's equating the views of Critical Drinker's video, the 1.1 million views, to the quality of the video, to the accuracy of the video. So because his video got 1.1 million views, then clearly it has got more quality, accuracy, and desirability than my video does. Ignoring the fact that you do not judge the success of a video to the channel based on a flat, raw number. Because he's going, oh, you only have 7,000 views on this video, and Critical Drinker has 1.1 million, so therefore he must be the one that is right here. He must be the one that is winning. Critical Drinker has 2.4 million subscribers. And a video with 1.1 million views roughly is around, again, 45-46% of his subscribers clicked on that video who are subscribed to his channel. That is how you determine the success of a video based on the size of a channel. That's how that works. You don't compare them as raw numbers across the board. Mauler knows this, and if he doesn't, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. My channel, at the time of making that video, was a little over 7,000 subscribers, and the video got 7,000 views, which means it's either close to or above 100% views to subs ratio, which is extremely good for a channel. It shows the channel is healthy. It shows that your channel doesn't have a lot of dead subscribers when you have such a high percentage of click-through rates on your videos compared to the amount of subs you have. That's how you determine whether or not a video has done well. You base it on the core amount of subs someone has versus and the percentage of that between the views of the video. So if you look at that, you will see that there is a big discrepancy in subscribers versus view count on that video for Critical Drinker, which I didn't even bring up, and I probably wouldn't have brought up in my video response to Critical Drinker, because I don't look at those things as some sort of sign of rightness or correctness or accuracy. I don't care about that. I don't care if a video has 20 million views. If it's wrong, it's fucking wrong. If somebody's a liar, they're a fucking liar. It doesn't matter how many views it has on it. So instead of doing what you're doing right now, which is trying to discredit me and demean me because of the size of my channel and how many views I got on my video, how about you stick to what I said and you attack what I said and you steelman what I said? You guys have been doing this the entire time I have been watching this video and the one that I did previously. It's a bunch of straw man arguments. It's a bunch of out of context arguments that I'm not making. That's all it is. Ad hominem attacks, not addressing anything that I'm saying realistically, excusing people for lying. In the As video that you guys, if you may or may not watched it, they made excuses for all of Az's lies. All of them. This is what they're doing. Okay, let's continue.
Been exposed, and this guy's doing the exposing, just like those other guys.
Well, the previous guy particularly, who did so much to shed the light on this corner of YouTube.
Well,
and thanks to him,
if my video is not a threat for exposing them, why are you watching me? What's the point? Clearly you don't like me. At least 2 of the people on this 5-person panel don't like me. So you would only be watching me if you think that what I'm saying is wrong and you would try and disprove anything that I've said here. But you're not. You're making excuses for liars.
Brave voices and are able to speak out without fear of oppression and persecution.
It's like, why bring up the numbers if you're going to get fucking flattened by them? What's the point? Obviously.
Where did I say that my channel was doing better than his channel? Where did I bring up any specific numbers? Where did I talk about the views of his video? Where did I say that in any of this? I didn't say that. Nowhere did I say that. I said that these channels are struggling because there is a decline in this pipeline on YouTube. And I showed you guys the clip. I'm right. The numbers don't lie. You guys are creating an argument that I never said this. I never said that my channel was doing better than Critical Drinker's channel. On a fundamental level, it is. If you're looking at subs to view ratio, my channel is healthier than his channel. That doesn't mean I have as much reach as him. Doesn't mean that I have as much influence as him. But my channel, on a fundamental YouTube level, where you view the health of your channel, my channel is doing better than his. But I never made that argument. I never said that in this video because I don't think it fucking matters. It doesn't matter for what I'm saying or what he's saying here.
Views don't mean you're correct. It's just weird to be like, aha, it's drying up, Drinker.
It's kind of I think the issue is that he really just did. It feels good, especially to say, oh, my cultural opponents, they're just losing. They are losing. They're on their way out. They had their day in the sun, but now they're going to scuttle back down like the vermin they are. But
if Drinker got 0 views as of tomorrow and no one ever watched his videos ever again, that was a fucking excellent run.
Again, I never said... I never said that it wasn't good. I never said that. I never said a fucking thing about the views on this specific video or any of his videos in the clip that you watched. I don't even think I've talked about it in months. Okay.
In terms of popularity and influence. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Those kinds of views, the fact that many people were influenced by you.
Oh, the dick sucking continues.
How long you went, the kind of stuff that you were able to produce, all the side projects and podcasts and everything. That's insane. People would kill to have that kind of success.
Yeah.
It is a weird situation.
It's almost like they would do anything to have that level of success. It's almost like lying is something that people could do to have that level of success.
So, like, I understand that people will look at views as a metric.
I didn't say a fucking thing about views.
There are various metrics, and obviously, views is tied to so many other things: thumbnail, title, searchability. There's so many little aspects to it.
Holy shit.
But it doesn't, and the fact that people use that as a way.
Are you guys listening to this?
Argue whether or not somebody is relevant or not.
I didn't say that. I didn't say any of that. None of that. I never talked about his views in relevancy. Like, I didn't compare those things. Holy shit.
No, you could have the best opinion in the world and you've got 1 view. Unfortunately, nobody hears it or whatever.
Yeah.
So then why did you even bring up my channel and my views? Why? Why did you look at my channel and go, oh, well, I guess he's got it all. He's got it figured out. If you're saying here that you can have 1 view and you can be right, then what the fuck was that? What was the point of that? Holy shit.
It can happen.
You
yeah.
might have a
God
shitty,
damn.
yeah, you may have just a terrible thumbnail. Your title doesn't make sense, and you just have no visibility. But you could have the greatest video ever. I know some guys out there who have some of the best work I've ever seen, some of the best editing, best voice work, and they get like 2,000, 3,000 views, and it's unfortunate because honestly, if they got it just happens. It's just the way the world works. It's just there's
What are we even talking about at this
discoverability
point?
is the biggest hurdle that you could possibly really get, especially nowadays. It is a super oversaturated market. It is a
Wow, it's almost like you are agreeing with me. It's almost like you're fucking agreeing with me. The saturation of this market is affecting all of these channels. There's not enough hours in the day for people to watch all of this content. And therefore, we're seeing diminishing views on channels because people are spreading out and they've got more access to more people who are saying the same things. You just proved my point. You just proved my point.
It is a big pond, but it is filled to, it's overflowing with fish.
I mean, Platoon, you probably remember my early days. I had a lot of trouble getting discovered. A lot of my early videos just didn't go anywhere.
Bro,
and then
who are
finally I
you?
just said, screw this, and I made the
I
most
don't even know who
ridiculous
you are.
thumbnail I could, and it got views. And it wasn't even my best video. I've always said this. Some of my best videos have never been seen. It sucked.
And who determines that? Like, seriously, like, I know this isn't really related to what we're talking about, but like, you think it's your best video? The masturbation session here is crazy.
But
Yeah.
Mystique, partly because those CGI heavy trailers with the horrible Predator redesign didn't do much to win me over, and
It's not a redesign. It's not a he purposely looks the way he looks because he's the runt of the clan.
Single
Yeah, he
God,
looks like Sean Pepper.
Every single
one
one.
of them,
They
every
will
single
not
one.
engage.
Again,
they
to
refuse.
reiterate, this, if you say this to somebody who had a really bad reaction to it, what do you think that's going to do? Oh, it's meant to look like shit. Oh, okay.
I didn't say that it's meant to look like shit. I said it's not a redesign, and they specifically made this particular Predator to look like the way he does. I never said he looks like shit. That is something that you're saying. I never said that. You're not attacking my argument. My argument is that it's not a redesign, and it was purposely made to look this way. Please attack the argument that I'm making. Please, I beg you to disprove the argument that I'm making for once in this video.
I was right.
Still does. Wait. Yeah, all right.
It's not a redesign. If you are at the beginning of the movie, you will see that the other Predators in his clan still look like the Predators that we know from the previous iterations of the movies and the franchises.
And how
Yeah,
interesting that Deck, who is literally their relative, looks nothing like them and looks special and unique for some weird reason. And Runt is not the answer because Runts are just smaller versions of the normal thing. They don't say that he's deformed or he has a mutation, just that he's a little guy.
Do they have to say that? Is that a requirement now? Is that a requirement for them to explain this redesign? That because he's considered a outcast for his clan, that his dad doesn't want him to be part of the clan, that as people watching the movie, we're not supposed to take in the fact that there's something different about him that makes him look unappealing to the clan. Mind blown, I guess. Mind blown. Maybe they should have thrown in even more lines about how different he is. I mean, his father was literally trying to murder him because of how he looked. But I guess we needed even more, like they could have done more than that, right? I suppose.
He's actually building the argument in favor of redesign in this situation. But
He's not a redesign because there was never a version of this type of character before. A redesign would imply that they took an existing Predator design that we already had, one that's like from the OG movie, and said, this is the same as this one, but it looks completely different. That would be a redesign. This one is a different version of the Predators. Deck in this movie looks the way that he does on purpose. That is the point of the design of this character. He was not redesigned from another Runt that we were familiar with. He is a wholly unique character that we've never seen before. We've never seen this version of a Predator before.
pointing out that no other Predator in the movie looks like him in ways that can't be explained by the runt of the litter status. So it is a redesign.
It is not a redesign.
Yep.
It's not. Holy shit. He's a differently designed Predator, not based on another version of what he looks like. We have no other runt characters to compare him to. He's the first of his design. So if we get another runt down the road that looks different than him, he would be a redesign to this kind of Predator. That would be a redesign. This is a new design, a new character type that we've never experienced before. Holy shit. We know that. So specifically, this Predator looks this way for a reason. It is a conscious decision that they made in the conception, in the design of the film, in the core of the story. It's why he looks that way.
Yeah, they took the design and retooled it into something else to accord with an idea of the run of the litter. It's kind of like a redesign in a way.
In the conception of the film, in the core of the story, man, Drinker's word salad is just so bad.
Okay, now they're triggered because I'm using words correctly. And now that's word salad. Using words correctly. All right, let's continue.
Because of early reviews from intellectual giants like Grace Randolph, who boldly gushed over the film's humanization of the Predator and a possible romantic relationship with a fucking androids.
There was no romance in that.
I just
we know.
That's his point, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
At least the last guy had actual autism as an excuse, but this guy doesn't.
That we know of.
If he says there's romance in this, then he didn't watch the film.
If he says there's romance in it.
It's just a simple sentence. All he said was that this is what Grace Randolph said, and none of them have been able to grasp what.
Right. So it's almost like he brought this up specifically to spread this to his audience. Okay? What is the purpose in his review of bringing up something Grace Randolph said? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it. Why did he put this in here? Why did he put in the Grace Randolph stuff about romance? What's the what purpose does it serve for Critical Drinker? Just think about it for a second. Could it be to outrage? Could that be what it is? No, there's no way that's what that is, right? No way possible.
That sentence could possibly
What
mean.
we've discovered is that Drinker's accidentally created like the best sort of rat trap he ever could have by accident. It's like it's when people
that's a good point.
generate their own straw men and they get killed by them.
Holy shit. You guys talking about straw man arguments? You guys? We just got done with an entire cope session from you straw manning something that I said. Holy shit. I know you guys are not talking about a straw man. I know you guys are not talking about a straw man. That is all you have done the whole time you've been watching my video is creating straw men. There's a field of them behind you. A field of them behind you. Holy shit.
It's like, how did you do that? So impressive.
Yeah,
he didn't watch it. If he says there's romance.
Jesus, the amount of glazing this film's been getting on social media would have you believe it's the best thing since the 1987 original.
It's a great
In fact,
movie.
according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually better, and it's not even close. So bullshit.
Rotten Tomatoes. So here we go. Here we go. Again, misunderstanding of Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate site.
Yes, that's why
Yeah?
he's using it to talk about how it's depressing what the critics say.
Oh, it's almost like when he uses it, it's okay. But when I used it earlier, you guys had a bunch of shit to say. It's almost like you're okay with the people you like using Rotten Tomatoes in any way they want. But if I use it to prove a point that I'm one of those guys, if you didn't watch the previous video, these fucking dumb fucks were like, oh, he's just one of those guys that uses Rotten Tomatoes. But when Critical Drinker does it to prove a point, that's okay.
Because that is an aggregation of the critics and what the critics say, you idiot.
Man,
you
I really want to see how he's going to sort of twist himself.
Yeah, I'm confused. Where does he think he's going with this?
It aggregates scores and then creates a number based on those scores. It's all math.
Okay.
So why would you say Rotten Tomatoes ranked it in a certain place in the list when they just simply made a list of where it was ranked by critics?
Okay, well, so what do you think that Drinker is communicating when he points to the Rotten Tomatoes aggregate score?
Holy
He
shit,
said
man.
lots of people are saying that this film is good. Look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, which is based on what lots of people think.
This is a reach. This is a reach. Because when I used it earlier to talk about it, and I was using it as a metric to show what people think of the movie, you guys had a lot of negative shit to say about me. But now you're on the front lines for Critical Drinker, who is using this to show what lots of people think. All I did was explain what Rotten Tomatoes is, again, for a second time. And they're sitting here defending Critical Drinker using it. Okay.
Lots of people appear
Also-
to think that it's better than Predator.
We're close to the idea that I said, I can't believe you killed me with a fucking gun, and then you go, I killed you with a bullet. Like, what? Yeah, no, I know. You've just described it slightly differently, but that's exactly what Drinker's trying to say. I don't know how you didn't pick this up. Not complicated.
It's really simple. All the Drinker is saying, man, people love this movie. Fuck, according to this metric, it seems like people like it more than the original film that everybody thinks is great.
Is that what he's saying?
So, in case you didn't know this, Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate, and what an aggregate is a collection of a whole bunch of different numbers compiled into one.
Are we at the point now where we're like 8 out of 10 times they'll repeat his point back to him, agree, and say they're disagreeing?
What's interesting to me is Critical Drinker in this video said the amount of glazing this movie is getting, and then he goes into the Rotten Tomatoes score. And then you have these guys glazing Critical Drinker, because that's what they're doing, I guess. Because I point out what Rotten Tomatoes is for people that may not know. Surprisingly, if you don't explain what it is, if you don't explain what Rotten Tomatoes is to a lot of these guys, they think that Rotten Tomatoes actually makes the scores up. And when I say these guys, I don't mean these 5 guys here on the screen. I mean people that watch his video in general. The amount of people that don't understand Rotten Tomatoes is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. That's why I explain it, so that people understand what it is that Critical Drinker is saying in his video. But let's continue.
They don't know what
They're doing the
against.
thing
They're
that
still
people say that
trying
we
to
do, where
disagree.
it's just like disagreeing with every single thing that's being said, regardless of whether or not it makes sense to disagree with it.
It's almost like what you guys are doing to me. Holy shit, the self-awareness, the lack of self-awareness, I should say, is crazy.
Just taking issue with every single thing that Drinker says, every single thing that Ass said.
Because Critical Drinker is a liar. He's a liar. Everything he does to frame a narrative. Everything. Nothing in his video. You've already said he's very scripted on this. He puts a script together and he makes these videos the way he does. Everything he says in his video, every clip he uses, everything he does is to drive a narrative in his reviews. That is how he functions. None of us are going to be gaslit into believing that him throwing a meme up or a video clip or sarcasm, that's not supposed to convey some sort of message. So what it is what you guys are saying is when he says certain things, we're supposed to take that literally, and then other times it's figuratively. Then sometimes we're supposed to look at what's on the screen and we're supposed to pay attention to that, but ignore what he's saying in his language. Like, this is the way I'm supposed to consume Critical Drinker's media. Is I'm supposed to just guess magically what he means at any given time. Okay.
All of it.
He upset himself
Yeah,
so
it's like-
much.
I so
It's just-
enjoyed that indignation. Oh, what a fucking idiot Drinker is.
He is.
I can't believe that Drinker used an aggregate website when he was talking about the thing that the website aggregates.
Holy shit. Again, these guys, if you didn't watch the first video, I was called all kinds of shit for showing Rotten Tomatoes and Cinema Score. And here they're defending the fuck out of Critical Drinker for using Rotten Tomatoes. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Can't believe it.
Unbelievable.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
That's
The one thing I think about Drinker, that a lot of his whatever you want to call this, the anti-drinkers will say they try to point to his character as being a source of not having a good opinion, when, you know, obviously it's more concise than.
Hold on, before I let him finish, where did I do that? I've never done that. I've never excused anything he's done for his character in the videos or said that that's because his opinion is bad. I've never done that. So I'm not sure where this is coming from. Nowhere in this video, or I think any video I've ever done about Critical Drinker, have ever talked about his character he's doing a character, so his opinion is invalid. I didn't say that. Rags said that earlier. Rags brought up the fact that he's a character. And my response was, then why are we even doing this? Why are we having this conversation if it's just a character? So is the character an excuse or is it not an excuse? Because I'm not the one that brought it up.
Matt. So they'll just be like, oh, he's basically in their mind, I think he's just a drunken dude who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Mm.
Well, I mean, that's pretty wild, right? Considering how popular he is, you'd think he's onto something, that people see something in what he's doing.
Right. Again, popularity doesn't equal quality or accuracy or integrity or any of those things. Doesn't mean anything. And again, I've never said anything about him being a drunk character or anything. I never talked about that.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you would, we've said
now
before,
for
nostalgia
us-
critic, right? It's like, why is he so popular? It's like, well, he's entertaining. He touches on stuff that people enjoyed when they were younger, and he was early. Cinema Sins, it's like, I mean, same sort of set of things, and then it's like an engaging sort of format to watch a film getting scored. It's like amusing, and he can make jokes that are funny and observation. You just get to re-experience a film. It's like Drinker. Well, I mean, I hate to tell you this, but a lot of the things Drinker says, a lot of people think that he's on point and agree with him.
That doesn't mean anything. What does that have to do with anything? If 5,000 people believe a liar, does that mean he's not a liar? I don't understand what this statement is. You just said a second ago that somebody with one view can have, I don't remember, I'm paraphrasing here, I guess, or what, something about the best take or the most accurate take or whatever it was you said. You said something about like a person with one view on their video could be doing something right. So somebody with the million views could be doing something wrong. So how is this a defense for anything that he says or does? I feel like this is again being dishonest.
So sorry.
Well, take for example all the people who are in the who hate Hassan, of which I'm a card-carrying party member. I fucking hate Hassan, but no one who hates Hassan would deny that he's not popular. He obviously is.
Yeah.
Where did I deny popularity? What is going on here? I never said that Critical Drinker was not popular. A decline in overall subscribers or views on videos or any of those things, that doesn't mean that someone isn't popular. Where did this come from?
Yeah.
Super popular. That's just like obvious. If anything, that's one of the biggest black pills that we have is that, oh shit, this guy is popular. This incredibly stupid, hateful guy is very popular with a bunch of people.
And I think a lot of people like this say and think the same thing about Drinker, but the difference is that they don't seem to really be able to articulate a single argument against the video that Drinker has produced, whereas I think we can all come up with fairly substantiated reasons that Hassan is a piece of shit.
You haven't even gotten to the part where he lies yet. Literally, there's a big lie that he says here in a minute. They haven't even gotten to it yet. It's crazy that we're still like these straw man arguments they're making about stuff. How do I even respond to this? I never said anything about him not being popular. Where did this even come from?
Oh yeah.
These people, like a lot of it, like some of this does just come as an immediate emotional reaction to thing you don't understand is bizarrely popular and you don't like it. And then if you can convince yourself that there's no worth in it, then you get that sort of bitter enviness that comes in of seeing something that you've written off as shit being so very popular, while here you are producing videos telling the truth about the grift and only getting 7,000 views. People.
Oh my God. The jumping around here is very confusing. So if I have a video with 7,000 views and I'm telling the truth about something, which I think he was being sarcastic, but let's just go here. I'm telling you the truth about something with 7,000 views, but somebody else is lying and they get 1 million views. Does that make the truth any less factual? Does that make me any less honest and that person any less dishonest? So you're actually making my argument for me, which is that these guys make these kinds of videos to make money. They do it for popularity. They do it for clout. They do it for social media views and things like that. So you're actually making my argument for me. This is actually kind of interesting. So you're saying that even if somebody is absolutely honest, they could still only get 7,000 views. But somebody can be the biggest, as Rag says, hateful person and still get 1 million views. The biggest liar and get 1 million views. So if my point here is that he is lying for video views and clicks for clout and money and all of these things, and you're saying that people will do that or can do that, then you're helping my argument. You're helping what I'm saying.
Get quite annoyed about that, but it would help, I think, if maybe they considered paying attention to what Drinker actually does and what he actually says when constructing a view of him, rather than going with gut feeling and falling into that bitterness.
Interesting.
It's kind of like what I said before, I forget who it was in the chat who said, like, the word I was looking for, concise. He's so concise with his wording that a lot of these people find...
I just want to say, when I say dick sucking, I mean it literally. Like, this is Love Island Critical Drinker. That's what this is. Love Island Critical Drinker. Which one of these suitors is going to get to be with him first? Which person is going to be picked up and taken through the doorway like a bride for Critical Drinker? Because this level of defense is... I don't know any other, like, I as an armchair diagnosis, I don't know what else you would call it. I don't know what you would call it. I would never, ever defend someone like this. Ever. Never, ever. It's just, this is a level that I don't think I've seen ever on any of the videos I've ever reacted to. You got 5 dudes sitting around doing their best to try and defend somebody who absolutely has lied in their video, and they're trying to discredit me as much as possible before they get to one of the biggest lies he says about the movie.
Issue in
It's crazy.
Locating the problem they have with the sentence that he just said.
We have absolutely seen that today for sure. People don't know what he's saying. They're like not even listening, or they skip into an assumption of what he has said.
They're so primed to be negative and hate him that they're not even like listening to the
They
words
almost-
he says.
They almost isolate like 1 or 2 words of the sentence. It's almost as though he's so concise that they try to
The lack of self-awareness. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.
out concise him and be like, well, I'm going to focus on this one word. And if I
think
point
that's
out,
more of it, yeah.
The Grace
Focusing on
Randolph
just,
thing
like,
is
one
fucking
word.
crazy.
The Grace yes, it's the Grace Randolph thing. Yeah, they couldn't even comprehend that when he said those things, he was reporting what she said.
Why was he Context is really fucking important. Why would Critical Drinker include something like that in his review for Predator Badlands? Why? Give me a logical reason why it's important for Critical Drinker to include something like that in his review for Predator Badlands, and then use the throw up clip that he does when talking about fanfic for women. Why would he do that? What is the purpose of doing that in this review at all? What was the point? Give me a reason why that doesn't lead to some sort of like he's putting it there intentionally in a way to steer the narrative in a direction that he wants it to go. I'm like, honestly, why would he do that? Why would you include something like that in your review if there wasn't a reason? Because he's supposed to be reviewing the movie. Who gives a fuck what Grace Randolph said about it? Ultimately, who cares? He put it in there for a reason. We're not going to be gaslit about this.
They just heard those words and said, "Oh, Drinker said these words. This is what he's thinking."
exactly. And that's what I was kind of saying before. That
It's almost like you missed if. It's almost like the word if disappeared from my sentence when I said that at the end of the clip that we watched. It's almost like if just vanished in that sentence. It's crazy how that happens. Crazy.
like, because technically he said those words, they're going to quote him as such.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful confirmation bias. They are listening
That's confirmation bias. Oh my God. Oh my, I'm not even going to address that one.
for things that confirms their worldview. He says the words, and they immediately think it confirms the worldview.
This is literally a confirmation bias group meeting. That's what this is. So don't tell me about confirmation bias.
It's kind of like the $40 million statistic. They're like, look, it had the record-breaking $40 million statistic, and then they didn't scroll down a little bit. It was like, oh, it only beat the 21-year-old movie by $2 million.
So chat.
Who cares? It still beat it. So now beating something, what's the number then? What do you have to beat it by for it to be a legitimate beating? Does it have to be 5 million more, 10 million more, 100 million more? So just beating it isn't enough now. In order, talk about confirmation bias. Talk about fucking confirmation bias. Just beating it isn't enough anymore. Now there's some nebulous number that Rag says you have to have in order for it to be legitimate, because you don't scroll down to see that it only beat it by this amount of money.
Record breaking 40 million. That's a big number.
They're all running with their visceral reactions. That's what's happening.
That's true. You can't run your
about that.
visceral reactions.
I forgot.
It's funny how it's wrong for us to deal with other people's reactions, but when Critical Drinker puts Grace Randolph's reaction in his video, all of a sudden we're the bad guys for pointing it out. Uh-oh. He put a reaction in his video and you guys have to defend it, so now we're the ones that are wrong for pointing it out. We're the ones who are wrong for assuming that he put it there for something insidious. We're wrong for that. But if we look at any reactions online or any of that stuff, then there's an issue with that.
That visceral was a thing.
Visceral.
It's a great thing.
It's important. All right.
Fuck off, Rotten Tomatoes. This is why nobody listens to professional reviewers anymore. Whatever the cost of selling your soul to your corporate overlords, I hope it was worth it, you bunch of dicks. Anyway, let's talk about this unholy union twixt predator.
That's really, really, really crazy coming from somebody who literally sells out in every video.
To who? To what?
Comparable.
To the people that want outrage content. He's selling out to outrage content. That is what it is. That is who he's selling out to. The highest bidder is making money off of outrage. He is sold out for that. There's no way I can watch a Critical Drinker review of anything, whether positive or negative, and assume that anything that he's saying is real or honest. I just don't believe him. And I don't have to, because that's my perspective. It's my perspective. I don't have to align to your perspective. You don't have to agree with anything I say. You don't have to agree with Critical Drinker. It's my perspective. I don't believe him based on things that I have seen on his channel. That's it.
Way.
Yeah, to whom?
He has sold out to big anti-woke.
I will say this. Aesthetically, just purely aesthetically speaking, not a great argument to make. However, I would be curious what he's... Is it the shilling for the big corporations or against them that makes you the sellout, or is it?
It could be against them. You could frame it that way. I wouldn't necessarily frame it that way, but you could frame it that way.
Saying, like, is it because he's been accused multiple times of being like anti-Disney no matter what, which is like, oh, I would assume that if you're shilling for the big mega corporation, the big evil mega corporation, you are the sellout, or are you selling out to the people who hate it?
Again, though, this doesn't work because he liked Andor. So it's like, what?
Yep.
Oh, he liked the one thing. The thief that stole 9 out of 10 times is not a thief because one time he didn't steal. Case closed. Case closed. He stole things 9 times, but one time, guys, he didn't steal. Therefore, he's not a thief. Great argument.
He did. Andor was good shit.
Uh-oh.
And he recognized it as that.
Remember, he was labeled.
Which also, again, side note here, I never said anything about him being anti-Disney all the time. I never said that. It's another straw man. This is something I believe Rags just said. So I didn't even say that. So here we are. We're going off on a tangent again, attacking something that I never said.
A dingbat for that one. So that was very serious. Like the repercussions of standing up for Andor.
You are actually selling out right now in this video.
Selling out for who?
How?
I don't know how to I don't know how to tell you this. He doesn't like Predator Badlands. He thinks it's bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
here's the thing: is for him to be selling out would require that all of us collectively could pay him more than Disney.
The only way that you could...
Yes, he would get paid more than from Disney because Disney doesn't pay him. So he is, in fact, making more money doing this than money from Disney. Shocker. Shocking.
The only way that you could, I guess, call him a sellout is that he's just trying to... It's just the grift thing. A sellout...
Yes!
If you're accusing someone of selling out, you're basically saying that they're grifting.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding. That's absolutely what I'm saying. Yes, he is. He's sold out to the grift. Absolutely.
It's essentially the same thing. They're interchangeable.
Once again, that doesn't have any meaning. We've established earlier today that there was no it's essentially a meaningless word.
You think?
I don't care what you've established. It's not meaningless. You don't get to decide that.
It's a shitty movie. And it is. It's a bad movie, and he didn't like...
That's subjective. It's so saying it's a shitty movie and you didn't like it is absolutely subjective, and you can do that. Making videos where your entire ecosystem is predicated on hating stuff. Again, a pattern of behavior. We looked at his channel. In the last 3 weeks, he's only made one video that is arguably not a hate video. The rest of them are either like ambiguously negative or outright negative. So I think it goes without saying that you could surmise from that this is a channel that makes money and gets views off of negative content. So unless you can show me some sort of pattern where he's not making massive amounts of negative videos, I don't know what to tell you.
I like it. It's that simple.
Whether or not you want to
argue,
argue,
a little Occam's razor showing up.
Whether or not you want to argue that he plays it up to his audience, that's a different thing. But if whether or not he agrees with what he's saying is that is an argument that you can't even have.
This is also
he built
where
that audience on that argument. He built that audience on that opinion.
Main man, Deck, but henceforth I shall name him Lumpy because it gives me literally seconds of amusement and I need to take whatever way.
That was an interesting cut in the video. That was an interesting cut. Let's go back and watch my video and show what they cut out of it, because I think it might be time for me to pack it up after I show this. I've reached my breaking point with these dishonest fucks. Let's watch my video so I can show you what they cut out of it. All right, so yeah, I just double checked where they did the cut because I noticed something was missing. This is where I'm talking about him selling out, and this is the first big lie that Critical Drinker says in his video, and they completely cut it out of their video. Listen, really, really crazy coming from somebody who literally sells out in every video. You are actually selling out right now in this video.
And Disney, shall we? The movie kicks off on the Predator homeworld, which funnily enough looks almost exactly like the other planet where the bulk of this film takes place. Hats off for the imaginative.
It doesn't. It absolutely does. You didn't watch this movie. So either you didn't watch the movie or you didn't pay attention. One world, the Predator homeworld, is this like barren, almost like rocky, jagged. It's a barren world. It looks like a desert and mountains, right? That's what it looks like. The world they go to is like this lush forest / jungle with water everywhere and lots of creatures running around and grass and trees and stuff. They literally look exactly opposite of each other. They're exactly the opposite.
It's of environmental design, chaps. Anyway, for that reason, I'm going to call it generic alien planet number 1.
So, by the way, this is the Predator homeworld. When we look at the scenes on the other planet, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys. Looking at the trailer shows you that it's different worlds. Looking at the trailer, you can see that it's 2 different worlds. Wow, they cut out a lot, didn't they?
Because that's all it is. This is also where we meet our main man, Deck. But henceforth, I shall name him Lumpy because it gives me literally seconds of amusement and I need to take whatever wins I can get from this one.
It's almost like they cut out the entire segment where Critical Drinker bold-faced lies about the movie. They cut out that entire section and jumped ahead to this part. Now, I would normally finish watching a video from people that are critiquing me, but these guys have done nothing but build straw men, created arguments that I never made, used the appeal to popularity, tried to demean my videos and my channel, even though I never compared myself to Critical Drinker, but my views and the percentage of subs to views on my channel is much better than his, even though I never said that. I never made that argument. They tried to argue about the channel's not in a decline. I proved them wrong on that. I showed the math here on that. And the last straw for me was noticing that they clipped out the part of my video where I catch Critical Drinker in the first lie he tells in his video, because there's several of them, but this was the biggest one. They strategically skipped over it. So fuck EFAP. Fuck these guys, because they are so dishonest and so disingenuous, and they so want to hold the line for Critical Drinker, they are willing to just skip over important parts of the videos they're reacting to frame their narrative. These guys are as big a liars as Critical Drinker is. And this proves my point. This proves my point. They clipped out an important section of my video in order to skip over a massive lie that Critical Drinker told. So that's where we're ending the video. I have nothing more to look at from these guys. Disingenuous, lying pieces of shit.